So sometimes the hidden gems in the inverted stages are in really tricky locations, but sometimes they're just in places where you'd normally go anyway, so I fail to see the point.
You very much confused me just then, because when this part started, I thought I'd started the previous part again. This is exactly the same everything as the previous part.
I was still trying to complete the game at this point.
Oh, bless you. How naive.
Yes. I'm always too ambitious for my own good.
Okay, that was going into what Ted was getting at earlier about how you feel sort of bad when you're heading into a game with the intent of getting everything, especially if it's from a franchise you love, and then you realize, man, this sucks. Or I don't have the time.
Yeah.
I mean, that seems to be a running theme with games lately. Whether it's Mario, Zelda, or Crash Bandicoot, the completion requirements are just through the roof.
I expect that more. It's funny. I kind of expect that more from Zelda.
I didn't mind 100%ing Mario Odyssey, honestly. Like, because I feel like the thing is that Mario Odyssey didn't really track your progress, and it didn't feel like you needed to get everything.
You don't need to get everything. In fact, you can quite easily unlock all the dark side of the moon shit just by buying moons in the post game. Just dump all your coins into the moon shop. You don't need to pick up a single other moon after that. Just buy a ton of moons and you'll unlock everything.
Well, yeah, and also with Mario Odyssey, you've got, like, okay, you're going through the same levels again, but there's so many different ways to move and traverse and explore and get to the different challenges, whereas with this game, there's usually only one way of doing it, and you just do it over and over and over and over and over and over again until you do it perfectly.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the difference between an open-ended game and a linear game.
Yeah.
In an open-ended...
that was unfair.
You were standing next to that box too much, I suppose.
That was your fault.
It clipped Crash on the nose.
In an open-ended game, people don't mind spending time in the same areas because that's the point. In a linear game, you want to feel like you're playing the levels again because you want to.
I'm not comparing them directly exactly. I'm just noting that it's been a recurring theme with more recent games where the completion requirements are just a lot bigger than we're used to for a given series. Like,
I think it's because games are getting pricier, so they're like, oh, we need to make it worth it and shit, and like
that. And I think they have a secret vendetta against Gerard.
Someone is trying to one-up him.
I would hope game developers are not that petty.
But, to be real, though, I think part of the reason is that developers are trying to experiment with how big they can make a game, and you got to go through it a couple of times before you figure out where the right balance is. So we're getting a bit ambitious, maybe a little too ambitious for our own good in some respects.
I think there's I don't mind if something is huge. I just wish, if it's all interesting, awesome. But if it's huge for the sake of being huge, then you can get fucked. I don't care.
Well, that's why... Oh, sorry. That's why I don't mind it in something like Zelda, because the way Zelda's designed, you explore as much as you need to explore or want to explore, and then you're done. You just go to Ganon whenever you want.
Yeah, that's why I like Breath of the Wild for doing that.
Yeah.
Whereas a lot of... We use the term Ubisoft busy because they're just kind of known for it. It's like, I don't need stuff to find just to find stuff.
Yeah, I think that's why... Damn it. I think that's why Assassin's Creed transitioned into being a Witcher 3 RPG rather than...
Yeah, I will say, okay, so this is, talking about sizes of games and shit. So I'm currently playing Valhalla, and I'm not an Assassin's Creed fan at all. I'm not. I've picked up and put down basically every single one in the series within about 3 hours. I've only finished 4 and 2. And I am going to finish this one because I'm really, really fucking into it. I am 80 hours into it currently, and it feels like I've been playing it for about 4. And that's the difference. It's about making shit interesting and making it involving and making the characters interesting, or the quests ridiculous, just making it memorable. It doesn't matter, if you have just fucking, the other Assassin's Creed games where you are just collecting shit for the sake of collecting shit, then it's just, you lose it. You lose it at that point.
That's what I liked a lot about Ghost of Tsushima as well,
Yeah.
it didn't have like a ton of super minor missions. It does, but a lot of the side quests are just part one of a side quest involving a character, so you're following their story as well.
Well, yeah, also in Valhalla as well, most of the shit that they hide away, or most of the items that you do grab just for the sake of grabbing, they're thrown into like dungeony kind of situations where you have to solve a puzzle to get in.
Well, Odyssey, Valhalla is really just expanding on what they did first in Odyssey, isn't it?
More or less. I just thought Origins and Odyssey were bloated and ridiculous and way too huge and not interesting enough, or too samey. But Valhalla seems to streamline it quite a bit. Not like streamline it in terms of size, but just it manages to feel more focused, and I like that.
It gets the formula better. Yeah, that's fair enough.
I think it does, because I mean, again, I'm not an Assassin's Creed fan. My girlfriend's the Assassin's Creed fan, so every time a new one comes out, we buy it just so that we can see if we're going to get into it. And I've got lost into it. The way I've been describing it is it's basically Witcher 3, but not quite as good. That's the best way I can describe it.
That's pretty much how people described Odyssey to me. But
yeah, I don't know. Odyssey and Origins kind of it was too samey for me. It was way too samey.
I'm just more into ancient Greece than I am into Viking shit, so...
I mean, okay, I'm not massively into Viking shit, but then when I heard, it's Vikings taking over England, I was like, okay. And now I'm like,
Vikings
so like...
taking over England, because God forbid they get
it's really
Vikings,
cute, though,
right?
because, like, it's like ye old English everywhere, and it's like, oh, God, I know these places, and this is what they used to be like when, like, before I used to live near them and shit, and it's just weird. It's really cool. I like that. And England is small enough where you can genuinely feel like, oh wow, this is my home, and this is what it's like.
I guess I'm just too cynical, because it's like they're doing Vikings, right? But I know they're going to get Vikings at least as fake as they got America. So,
oh god, yeah. I mean, the Vikings are fucking brutal. I mean, there are some fucking nasty death animations in that game. They're incredible. Like, I've been beheading people every couple of minutes. It's crazy. I love it.
Well, I'm glad to know that Assassin's Creed has a decent combat system now.
Yeah, it doesn't help the bugs, but yeah, it's good though, and it looks so good on PS5 as well. I mean, I don't know what it's like on PC or anything, but on PS5 it loads ridiculously fast, 60 FPS. It looks fucking amazing. Yeah, but yeah, this is not Assassin's Creed. I need to stop.
You could send your check in the mail, Ubisoft.
Oh, don't worry. We talk about crap that's not relevant.
I was about to interject. Was like, I'm so glad Lewis found it necessary to leave these 6 minutes of fuck ups in and leave this part like 27 minutes long.
This is the last flashback tape I'm doing, so I wanted to give you guys.
Is this Crash's final flashback tape?
No, there's two more.
Or is this there's two more? Oh, because they're using the Cortex music. And I had a feeling that they were going to use that for like the final challenge, because now it feels like a proper Cortex bonus room from Crash 1.
By the way,
the first really, really hard one uses the Ripperoo theme of all the goddamn things.
Yeah.
I was just going to say, you absolute bastard. On that bit there with the bouncing metal crates, I don't think I'm the only one that did this, but I tried to slide into that box in the middle of them, and I died a million fucking times trying to get that right. And just to see you break a top one with your head and leap on over... Like, no, I'm upset. I'm very upset.
Fuck you.
It's weird. I think the first half of this particular stage is harder rather than the second half.
I still think the Crash 1 rendition of Cortex's theme is the best one.
Is it always the same melody?
It's
the
pretty
same general
menacing.
melody, but
yeah, it's pretty menacing.
It's at its most menacing.
Yeah.
Here. That's why I like it.
Well, it's slower is the thing.
Yeah, I love the Insane rendition too, because that one puts way more emphasis on the percussion.
Yeah. In fact, actually, Crash 1 has some of the most menacing pieces of music. Like that's one of the things. Like Temple Ruins in Crash 1 is way better than the Insane music, because they made it all jazzy, and it's like no.
A lot of music in the original is better than the Insane one. Well, what's up?
You screwed up.
Oh, you screwed up. How will you live with yourself?
Oh no.
I thought you were just really adamant about your opinions on the music.
Oh no.
Oh. Yeah, because I know like the remix music for the Insane trilogy is like sort of like divided between did it sound better than the original? Does the Insane version sound better? And it's like, I think for Crash 1 specifically, I think it is probably you can make the case where most of the original tracks just sound better.
Oh,
They
no.
got it really right. Like the upstream Insane version is fucking amazing. I love that song. And
Oh, I made it.
yeah, there's a couple that are a lot better. But like in terms of like the atmospheric pieces, like Generator Room and all that shit, it's way fucking scary.
Yeah.
It's scary music in the original. It's like frightening.
Yeah, Crash 1 went for a more atmospheric. Why did I say athletic?
Yeah.
Atmospheric feeling.
because you're bouncing all
its
over the
music.
place.
And
But some tracks are really good and Insane,
Yeah.
like Toxic Waste.
Yeah,
sounds
Toxic
fantastic in
Waste is
Insane.
a banger. Yeah, I
yeah,
love
it
that.
just feels like the Insane Trilogy version of the soundtrack didn't quite get what the original music was going for some of the time. So it failed to preserve the feeling of some of the music.
Did the remakes have the option to play the old versions of the music?
Nope.
No.
It should.
I don't know
The
what. I
Spiral
honestly don't
one
know why.
did.
I mean, it's on Steam now, so I'm sure someone's modded it in. I'm sure, but like, and by the way, that's the only way to play that game because that is actually how it's advertised, 60 FPS, which is the only way to play any of them. Steam version is the way to go. But,
Speaking of the to compare Insane Trilogy to Crash 4 for a moment, one of the things about the original game that I only found out recently was that the models in that game are entirely like non-shaded. So the lighting engine is what determines all of the lighting on the model at any given time, and that's why they look so weird in certain places. Whereas in Crash 4, the models have shading built into them, and the lighting
Right.
engine plays off of that.
Okay, well, I mean, look, the biggest complaint most people have with the visuals in Insane is the lighting issues, and you know what? You can turn that shit off in the Steam version. You can turn bloom off, you can turn fur effects off, and then it fixes everything. So it's like, the Steam version is the way to go with the Insane trilogy, like 100%.
Yeah, I would have to agree.
Notice that I'm not even trying anymore.
Yeah, you really are. I remember seeing this.
This is part 12. Lewis is finally
Oh
broken.
yeah, this is the stage where the boxes are hidden beyond the borders at the start. There.
Yeah, I just remember seeing those walls of nitro crates and thinking, I've got to get platinum relics here. Oh.
Wait, do the time trials make you play as the alternate characters and then
Yeah.
They're in
Crash?
every
Uh-huh.
stage. Yes.
So you gotta go. Yeah, so you gotta go through the new gameplay styles and the sucking up and spitting out and all of that shit while rushing. Most of the shit you gotta ignore it. Like what you're doing now, that's how you do the time trial. You just ignore most of it. But then you have boxes which are off screen that you need to break because they stop the clock, and then it becomes another kettle of fish.
Like, I mean, Crash does look like the kind of game that would be fun to do speedruns for. It's
Oh,
just a
100%.
very different style of play than normal.
Yeah.
Also, the hidden gem is like off
Yeah,
on
you
this,
missed it.
off on this platform that's to the left of that big barrel.
Yeah, you missed that.
No, I just ignored it.
Okay, yeah. That was your choice. That was your
I am
choice.
broken.
This was my 10th time playing no dillo-dallying, so I decided to take the level name's advice and stop dillo-dallying.
Dildo.
Lewis is already far beyond the point where he saw his reflection in the mirror, and it's like a bloodshot eyeball that he punches and breaks the glass.
Lewis, it's 4:00 in the morning. Why on earth are you trying to 100% Crash 4?
No, it wasn't 4 o'clock in the morning. It was 9 a.m. No, it was 10 a.m. I needed to get to sleep
that might
because
as
I had
well be
another
as
shift
late.
at work.
That might as well be as late as 4 in the morning.
Like, remember, I work overnights at a convenience store, which means I've seen the end of days. God damn it!
Oh, I know. I've been there as well. I think a lot of people have. Yeah, it's not fun.
I worked plenty of overnight just at that convenience store you're referring to, and I would never describe any of those nights as the end of days.
Why did it?
So I guess we don't know why the boat's here
Why
now.
did it
but
skip
that's
the
okay.
cutscene?
Because you pressed the skip
No,
button.
I didn't press the skip button.
Well, the big skip button icon was on the screen, so I think that indicates that you did indeed press the skip button.
No, I didn't.
Look at Mr. Fancy here.
That is so weird.
look at this.
I didn't even notice it had done that.
Is that what you have to do for the?
Well, anyway, what happened was that, oh no. Oh, right, I gave up. I forgot. This is my escape. I'm running from this world. I'm not looking back.
See, it is difficult. It is so hard to play a Crash game without going for the boxes. It's so ingrained into the gameplay. Even if you forget, you're not bothering for it.
Know when I
Oh yeah,
get
but
there.
you know,
Who
I give up
cares?
trying to get the boxes, but I get the most difficult box in one try. Sure. Okay. Why not? Yeah, I'm just gonna ignore you guys. Bye.
This still baffles me why they had to make you
wait,
play
I
the second half of a level
think
again.
I know why I skipped the cutscene here, because this was not my first time actually finishing the game while recording. I think I was going for the less than 3 deaths gem.
Right.
Oh,
So you're okay.
Bye,
whatever.
Fake Crash.
it doesn't matter.
And the best way to guarantee the no deaths gem is by rushing every single part of it.
Yep.
Well, I mean, you did it. I mean,
502 boxes.
I don't get why
great, but you missed 200 and everything.
Whack, 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 whack.
Yeah, that was my. I was going for the three deaths just to unlock the costume, because that was less painful than doing the inverted stage.
Yeah, that makes more sense.
The Cat's Meow version for Coco specifically is actually one of the nicer costumes in the game, so I had to grab that. Cat's Meow for she basically looks like that chick from Beetlejuice at this point. I think so.
Oh yeah.
I liked that show when I was a kid. Probably because I had shit taste.
I saw it more as just Nina. I just saw Nina Cortex.
Sort of. Maybe.
No, go back. Progress.
Why can't we play video games? Why do we have to go back and stop playing video
Why
games?
do we have to go? Wait, why am I going back?
What are you doing, dude?
Oh, right. I remember.
I think
I
he's
was
tired.
checking the flashback tapes, and then I remembered. Oh yeah, there are no flashback tapes. In
The worst part is that it's pre-recorded, so we can't tell you to stop.
the
we're just stuck.
I was utterly sleep begged at this point, so I thought there was a flashback tape in the timeline level, and then I looked and I saw that there wasn't one, and I'm like, oh yeah, timeline levels don't have those, thank God.
Here's the demo level, I believe.
Yes, No
Yep.
Way Out. They picked
One of my favorites.
They picked a few surprisingly late game levels for the demo.
Well, it makes sense because if you're showing off the game, you want to show something where you're actually playing the game and not just doing.
Well, that's true,
tutorial
but
stuff.
most Crash Bandicoot demos were early game levels before this. So, but
Yeah, but that was at the time that was like fresh and exciting. But at this point, we like if it's Crash 4, it's like yeah, we know what Crash
Yeah.
plays like. So if you just show us like the first level, then we're not going to be impressed and we're not going to bother. But yeah, go with these ones with the mask powers and everything, and then we got a slightly more interested audience.
that too, but it also made a point of showing off the game's difficulty, which I think was a good move in retrospect.
Yeah, that is a good idea.
Also,
actually.
though, they picked level themes that we've seen in previous games and left all the new ones for like us to discover when we got the game, which is nice. You know, game companies should learn not to spoil things quite so easily. Square.
I'm looking at the Pokemon Company.
I'm looking
here
at
as well.
Square. God damn it.
Well, no, Square. At least if you're talking about Final Fantasy VII, it seemed like they were doing a decent job. with it.
Until like close to release, when they started showing off everything.
Yeah.
God
Well,
damn.
the one that will always stick in my mind as being the worst example of this is Pokemon Sun and Moon, where they just showed no restraint and had showed off literally the entire game before.
Well, they showed off post game content before the game came out.
Like, imagine how cool it would have been to have seen Red and Blue in the game, like as a
As older characters of themselves and stuff.
No, we gotta make that
Yeah.
a selling point.
Well,
I mean,
the
we
game
were
already
talking
had
about
plenty
this.
of selling
I'm
points.
being sarcastic.
Yeah, I mean, we were talking about this last week, like speaking to somebody who didn't play / know the story of FF7 before going into the remake. It's like all I knew was everything to do with Cloud and Sephiroth. That's because that's all they showed off. So I was really kind of taken aback when Sephiroth only kind of pops up like once. And like, well, no, he burns a village down and then he's the final boss and that's it. And it was like, why did you show him off like all the time? Like that's all I know.
Because, yeah. I mean, I have my issues with that, but we go into that more in our Final Fantasy VII Remake commentary, also on BrainScratch Commentaries.
Sorry, who said that?
Buy, consume,
I
hit that
did.
subscribe button.
Ring
Oh
that
no,
bell.
I missed one. No. Damn it. I almost died for one stupid crate.
Is there a limit to how long you can slow down time?
Yeah, it's about 5
Yeah.
seconds per pop. But you can stop
Okay.
it early and then restart it, so...
And when do you get, like, a recharge? Like,
Oh, pretty much
Immediately.
as soon as time resumes normal
Soon as you
speed.
land,
But
yeah.
most of the things you'd want to slow time for will pass pretty much instantly the moment time resumes, like nitro crates, for example. So it's not like you can just rapidly stop and start it and expect things not to fly by.
We also have to mention as well how this is basically the tiptoeing on nitro crates power up from Wrath of Cortex, but done properly, and also has
Yeah.
multiple utility aside from being able to.
Way more fucking interesting.
Yeah.
Also, fuck this box right
Oh.
here.
Wait, what
Because I
box?
walked
There's
past
the hidden
this.
box for this
Oh,
level,
that
like
one.
way up there,
Yeah.
in a wooden structure, so it's camouflaged.
at least it's in plain sight.
Yeah, I
on
remember.
the-
Yeah, I don't know. I remember streaming the demo when it came out, and I found it on my first go. I was.
Here's the trick. There's an invisible checkpoint right after it. So if you didn't get that box before that checkpoint goes off, you might forget
Oh, you can't get it.
No, you can get it, but you'll probably forget to get it again if you die before reaching
I
another
see.
checkpoint. It's sneaky.
That's very sneaky.
I did appreciate the gag at the beginning of the level 2 where the blue guy is like, how many times have you beaten him? And they're like 3. And he's like, oh, I thought it was more than that. Like, that's a clever little joke. Oh, wait, do you have to follow this thing back in order to get another hidden
Yep.
box?
Yep.
And that was something I was expecting. Like I was expecting that.
It's
That
not-
was,
Yeah, if you have enough platformer experience, you know they're gonna pull shit like that.
It's not the first time that Crash has dunked on a game that hasn't done well, though, because in Twin Sanity, Cortex directly references Wrath of Cortex not doing well.
Yeah.
Well, you see, Wrath of Cortex didn't do as well as we'd hoped, and well, here we are.
Fish.
It's like a birthday party, except the exact opposite. It's probably
The
my
writing
favorite
in
line.
Crash
in
to
the game.
Insanity is just somebody got really high and didn't
Dude,
edit
Twin
their-
Sanity has fantastic writing.
That
like,
doesn't
Twin
mean
Sanity,
it's bad. It's just somebody got high,
Yeah.
wrote down everything
Well-
they thought was
Well,
funny.
no, it
and
was
left
it was
like
written
that.
by the Ren and Stimpy guys.
Exactly. Somebody got high and then wrote down everything they thought was funny and left it like that.
Yeah, no, the best bit, hands down for me, is when they're chasing after evil Crash and Nina, and Cortex goes, "My daughter, niece." That's my best. That's the best bit.
Ah, man.
So wait, so is it his niece or his daughter?
Yes.
We're not.
I think it-
the joke is we're not sure.
I think she's the
Either
niece.
Cortex isn't sure, or it implies something not very nice.
This
I
is
don't know.
important because one confirms Cortex is fucked and one doesn't.
Yeah,
So-
Or maybe they both confirm both. I don't know. It's the Ren and Stimpy guys. You can never be sure. Anyway,
I think it was a case of did he fuck the mum or did he fuck the sister? Like I thought that's how I read it.
oh
Like
no.
like is he pretending that she's the niece because she's actually the daughter or what? Like I don't know.
Oh no.
This is another stage with a timeline attached to it, by the way. One of the fun things about the timeline version is that you can backtrack quite far from the start of the level. There's nothing
And
to
I
find
did
there.
that. I did that because I thought there'd be a secret and there wasn't, and I screamed.
There wasn't. It's just like awkwardly an empty version of the level with no
Yeah.
boxes or enemies or nothing.
They do that with one of the spaceship levels as well. Out for launch, I think.
I'm glad, but at the same time, this game seems mean enough to the point where
They would
it's
do
not
that.
unreasonable, for you to
Yeah.
expect to have to do it.
Exactly, yeah.
Be careful about slide jumping off of these platforms, by the way, because sometimes your hitbox can contact the water and insta-kill you, even though you're supposed to get hang time, god damn it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, go ahead and slide jump off the boats. Like, feel free, because you're high enough above the water that it's not an issue. But
Oh, did you ever get killed by one of the drunk sailors?
No.
Okay, have you seen the death animation for it?
I think I did in someone else's video, and that is a good thing to bring up, because the enemies and the death animations in this game are like the best shit ever.
Yeah, I know. Like
What is the death? What is the death animation for the?
if you run into a drunken sailor, they pick up Crash and snap his back like a twig.
Oh my god!
Like there's a crunch and everything. There is an audible crunch, and then he just fucking throws his lifeless body to the floor.
Come to that, I think your video was the one I saw it in. Okay.
Oh yeah, I did mention it, didn't I? Yeah.
Yes,
No,
you
I
did.
did. Yeah.
That's depressing. God.
Yeah, this one here. One of those guys. Yeah.
Okay. So, yeah, that's that level finished.
Thankfully, if you play the demo, you already know how to get
just
everything.
processing the kid's Crash Kid is fucking.
It's funny how you can stand on a box on one of the scale platforms and it won't change the balance at all, but the moment your feet touch the actual scale platform, it starts to sink. It's so weird.
Weird. I was going to say maybe it's because the crate is suspended at that point, but no, because it goes up and down with the platform, doesn't it? So
It's just a bizarre game
broken.
logic, that.
It's broken. It's a piece of shit.
Why did I ever agree to this?
Man, the physics in Crash Bandicoot 4 are terrible. You can walk up walls and everything.
I literally I press a button and gravity turns off, shaking my head.
What we really need in order to save this franchise is classic Crash to have his own levels in classic mode, and then modern Crash to be beat 'em up style where he rides on monsters. Then the fan base will truly be satisfied.
Yeah,
Well, you see, I kind of make that joke in my review where pretty soon Crash will be riding a motorcycle and wielding a gun. Then I literally just show the box art of Crash 3, and it's like, he's already fucking done that. What am I talking about?
Anyway, just a quick peek
okay.
at the inverted stage, because this is the world where it starts taking more than 6 gems to get costumes. Also, the visual filter for this one is
God, this music reminds me so much of the one of the Crash Bash levels involving.
Oh God, you're right.
Snow.
Yeah,
I'm
you know,
trying to
yeah,
remember
no,
which
it's
one it
Melt
was.
Panic.
bear-
Melt Panic. It's Melt Panic.
Melt
yeah.
Panic. Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah.
Yeah, Melt Panic with Uka Uka. Yeah.
something to mention
Yeah.
about this particular inverted graphical theme. The Pop Bam Boof.
Yeah, it's ugly.
Well, that too, but the Pop Bam Boof comic book effect that happens when you break a box, it happens when the invisible checkpoints break, both for the bonus stages and the timeline thing.
Really? Also, it'll just randomly say.
There'll be
bam,
like this
for
little
no
cloud
reason.
wherever the invisible box is positioned in the level, and it still happens in the currently patched version of the game. It's glorious.
Wow.
I mean, I get what they were going for with it, and that art style can work. Like Mad World looks decent still, and it used a similar thing.
It's
just the
Really old
the-
old style comic books.
It's trying to do that dot matrix
Yeah.
effect where like they did a bunch of dots to do the color, and I think that's the thing that doesn't work. The Bam Pow Batman exclamation point things, I think those look fine.
I actually really like the graphical style. I'm not sure what's so bad about it, but